Hey everyone, how you doing? Today we're going to be doing a bit of a build video. I wanted to go ahead and renovate this apartment to be Jasmine Suites. It has good schools, it's on ley line, and I always use this apartment. Oh, here we are on a bridge. Right, this is where it drops us for some reason. Let's get a good look. I'm sure you've all seen this apartment before. I'm going to go ahead and just bulldoze, start off with a fresh palette, and as you can see we've got a lot of windows, quite a bit of natural lighting, but I am going to go ahead and just start off with a blank slate, get some of those subtle sources in, subtle sources, and get them in to brighten up our lives even more. And my goal with this apartment is just to make it like a family friendly apartment. You know, we've got those lot traits on ley line, good schools, so that's the vibe we're going with for this renovation. So let's jump on in to the speed build. I wanted to go ahead and make sure that each room had a window, because there is nothing I hate more than seeing things in The Sims. Okay, that's an over exaggeration. I obviously hate a lot of stuff more than this minor complaint about a video game, but something I really don't like is when people build stuff in The Sims and it's not realistic, and that is just me being me. Like, that's got absolutely nothing to do with anyone else except for myself. In The Sims, I always have to build with realism in mind. I cannot be like, I don't know, I just can't pretend. I can't. I have to meet all my little realistic rules. And so I'm wondering if you have any realistic rules that you always follow when playing The Sims and building in The Sims. Because for me, I just have to have them in place. And this build was actually inspired by watching another speed build video. Well, it wasn't a speed build, it was one of those like live build with me videos, not of this apartment but of a different apartment, and they were building the apartment to be like a family friendly apartment, and there ended up being a room with no windows. And it just happens sometimes in these semi-shino apartments. It's so frustrating that you can't place your own windows. Like, I get it, I get why you can't. It looks silly from the map mode if like the apartment below has different windows to the one above and things like that, but it's just so frustrating that we can't even like manipulate them or edit them at all. Like, it's my business if I want the building to look stupid from the outside, but I get it. I get why you can't. It would probably open up like a field of glitches as well, I'm sure. But anyway, in that video there was a bedroom that didn't have windows, and it's just something that I cannot bring myself to do. I cannot make a bedroom without windows. And so it really just inspired me to build in The Sims 4 again. And it was just one of those classic moments of like, you know, of course, I don't actually care what other people do with their builds. It's totally up to you. You do you. But when I'm building, it's like I have these little rules that I want to follow. And so if I see, you know, an opportunity to do a build following all my silly little rules, I have to do it. So that's why I decided to go ahead and do this like family apartment build. This one is actually quite a generously sized apartment, honestly. So my goal was to make kind of like a luxe family apartment, and I'll run you through my little imaginary storyline of the imaginary family that would imaginarily live here in just a second. But first, I want to not get too distracted from what I was saying prior, and I want to talk about my little silly realistic rules. And feel free to make fun of me, it's fine. And also share your own little rules and make fun of yourself if you please. But my little realistic rules for building in The Sims 4, they are probably directly informed by things that I desire in real life in a home as well. Also, can I just mention how amazing it is that we have tab mode and build mode now? Like, it's life-changing. I'm never going to have a sim ever again. Like, I can be my own builder now. It's great. Anyways, one of my main realistic rules for building in The Sims 4 is that you have to have window coverings. You can't have a house without blinds and curtains, or curtains at least. Like, how can you live your life in real life if you didn't have a blind or a curtain or some kind of like fixture, some kind of window covering on your bathroom window? Are you just showering and using the toilet in broad daylight in public, like staring your neighbors in the eyes? I don't think so. And if you are, well, I don't know, maybe that's a personal difference then, but IRL, I can't stand anything more than like a lack of privacy when it comes to curtains and blinds and whatnot. I love having my like blinds open during the day, but having like my lace curtains shut, my sheer curtains shut, so that people can't really see in. And then there's nothing more chef's kiss than at the end of a day being like, all right, it's time to close down the house, time to close all the blinds and the curtains and whatnot so nobody can see in, and turn on all my little lights, my lamps and whatnot, and just enjoying and reveling in your house. Like, how could you live a life where you just have no curtains all the time? I couldn't do that, so I would never make my Sims do that. But I am realizing now that there definitely are some people out there who just don't have curtains on their windows, and it could be for one reason or another. Like, totally get if you've just moved in or whatever the circumstances are, if you're for one reason or another not able to install curtains or blinds. I've definitely been there where we've lived in rentals where the blind or like curtain window covering situation was not ideal, and so we had to like adapt and overcome. And then also just like financially, window coverings cost a pretty penny, so I get it. But like, if you're in a position where you just like enjoy or like don't mind having window coverings or not, I've seen TikToks of people where they're like, oh, I'm really scared in my house, like I heard a scary noise or something, and they're filming around their house and they have just like 0 window coverings, or like, and they say they like that because they like the natural light and whatnot. And I'm like, how can you live like that? No wonder you're scared. No wonder you think someone's like broken into your house. All your windows are open and like uncovered and everyone can see you 24/7. That's gotta be scary. I would be so paranoid, but that's just me being a paranoid person, okay? So anyway, my point being, I could never live a life where if I had the option to have window coverings where I would actively choose not to. Like, I would have no reason not to, because I'm so paranoid and love my privacy so much that I would always cover them up. So I do the same for my Sims. And if you're someone who just like doesn't mind not having window coverings, I just want to know what it's like to live such a carefree life. How do you do that? It's impressive. Please share your tips and tricks in the comments below. But anyway, so rule number 1, I have to put in window coverings. Let's say you're not someone who's like that in real life, where you don't care, or like for whatever reason you can't or don't have window coverings. Why would you not do it in The Sims? You need to help your Sims out and give them that privacy that they deserve. But I feel like it gets overlooked in The Sims a lot because we play with walls like cut away or partially cut away, and we just don't notice that the windows aren't covered. But like, if you get down on your Sims level and you think about it realistically, it's so messed up to not have window coverings, you know, obviously depending, but like, it couldn't be me. So that's one of my silly little realistic building rules. The next one is, I guess similarly, and I've already touched on it before, is that all rooms have to have a window. They have to meet the qualifications for a room. Exception being the occasional bathroom. Like, I personally think all bathrooms should have windows, but if it works out that it's landlocked, I could live with that if we pretend there's a ventilation fan or something in the room. But I would prefer if every room, including bathrooms, had a window of some sort. And so when I'm building my floor plans and layouts, I'm always building with that in mind. And so in this house, with the large amount of windows, it wasn't too difficult to do that and still get the amount of rooms and spaces that I wanted. However, there was this little corner, I think I'm working on it on screen right now, in the kids' bedroom, where I had like the bathroom has one window, the kids' bedroom has one window, and I would have preferred if there was a third window kind of between there, but there wasn't. And so what I decided to do was go ahead and make the closet be there. I made these kind of like semi-open with the archway closets that are kind of like those open wardrobe plan, and they've got a dresser popped in there as well with the little clothing racks, and then just use the storage above. But that's kind of how I might incorporate that space. I might turn landlocked spaces into closets and things like that, rather than bedrooms and bathrooms. What's another silly realistic rule? Okay, if I'm renovating a house, so let's say I've already built a house or I'm using a pre-built house, I would never renovate it in a way that wouldn't be realistic. So what do I mean by that? I would avoid knocking down walls wherever possible. I'd always try and like extend from or like knock them down in a way that would be realistic. And then also I would avoid having to like relocate windows. Like if you've got a window in a brick home, I mean, yeah, you can move it out, fill in that hole, like, and add another room on and pop that window elsewhere. But like, how realistic is that? If we can make an extension that comes off of like a wall that's just flat, no windows, I would prefer that rather than extending off of where a window or a door was, if that makes sense. I just try and think realistically about it. Like in real life, if this was a house, where would you plan for an extension to be built so that it would be as like cost effective and time effective as possible, retaining the original structural integrity of the property. Side note, did you know in that little Art Deco vibe closet from high school years that you can put stuff in the top of that? I did not know that until today. So fun fact. Yeah, that's one of my other things. If I'm renovating it, it has to be realistically like thinking about in real life, would it be possible to like do this renovation? If not, then I'm not doing it. I try and make it as realistic as possible. Anything else? I don't know. I think those are kind of my main ones. And okay, probably something else I've seen other builders do that I like to do differently is sometimes, and I don't know if this is an American thing because a lot of the people I see do it are from America, but I'll see people build bathrooms and in the bathrooms they only put paint. They don't put any tiles on the walls. Is that common? Is that a normal thing in other countries? I'm not sure. I think it might be with like new builds, just doing like the builder's grey paint throughout the whole house, bathroom included. But in Australia, at least all the houses I've looked at, I'm trying to think back, we recently like toured a bunch of homes, so I'm like, did I see any that didn't have tiles in the bathroom walls, like on the bathroom walls or in the bathrooms? But I'm thinking I'd say a good 90% of the homes in Australia that I've set foot in always have some degree of tiles on the walls. It's not all the way up to the ceiling all the time. Usually it's only higher up the wall on the actual shower walls. But usually at least like a good third to half of the walls are tiled in Australia. And that just has always made sense to me for like water damage, like for water moisture exposure, like mold. Paint can get moldy so much more like easily than tiles do, and it's so much easier to like, if your like silicone or whatever gets moldy, to remove that and replace that rather than having to treat the mold and like repaint a ceiling or something, you know what I mean, or the walls, sorry. So yeah, that's another thing. I will typically put tiled walls in my bathrooms, whereas I've seen, even though it doesn't matter, like there's no mold system in The Sims 4, like it does not matter, but in my head, to me, it makes sense that like you should have tiled walls for ease of cleaning and less mold growth potential, even though like it does not matter in The Sims 4. Anyway, I'll probably stop there because I feel like I'm getting a little bit ranty, but do you have any little building tidbits, realistic rules that you follow? Okay, I should probably switch to talking about the actual thing that's on your screen now. So this build, I decided I kind of wanted to do like a single mom build who has like an amount of children. And I wanted to see how I could make that work. So I'll run you through a walkthrough of the apartment at the end once it's completely done. But just to give you a vibe, we've kind of got like a bathroom with a bathtub, like toilet, sink, bathtub, and then the laundry. So that's kind of like the laundry room bathroom. And then we've got another bathroom that's just a bathroom, but it has a shower instead of a tub. So I kind of wanted to make this house accessible for if this household had infants or toddlers. So we've got potties around, we've got bathtubs in case you need to bathe them in the bath. And then we've also got a shower, so it's like quick and easy. And that kind of vibe stemmed from the fact of me not wanting to cover up any of the windows and like where I decided to position the bathtub and whatnot. I was like, I cannot really fit a shower in that other bathroom without covering up a part of the windows or like blocking the light, if you know what I mean. And I really wanted that window in that bathroom to be quite accessible, so that's what I did. And then another thing is I always have to include laundry. Like, I can't build a house these days without having a laundry in it because it's just not realistic. I guess it makes sense maybe in apartments they might have like a communal laundry area, but I feel like in most apartments these days you will see they have like a washer dryer stack combo in like a closet or in like the corner of a bathroom or something. So I feel like it's becoming more and more common for even apartments to have their own washer dryer system. So that's why I always like to include them where I can. Also just because when I'm playing realistic gameplay. So if they have no washing system, I'm like, what's going on here? Like, this is not normal. Ooh, I just had a thought. Can you have like a laundromat in The Sims 4? Because maybe you could have washing baskets. And can they put the washing baskets in their inventory? I don't know about that. But I know you can put the clothing piles in your inventory. And so I wonder if you could make a community lot with a washer and dryer. And if you could go there and put your clothes in the washing machine, wash them, switch them over to the dryer, and then take them home. I wonder if the washer and dryer would be functional. I'm sure it would be. I think I have to test this out and maybe do a build on it and build a laundromat in The Sims 4. I'm sure somebody else has. I'll do a quick little search on the gallery and see how they did it. But I kind of want to make my own now. That would be really cool to have like a laundromat, and then maybe I could get over my ultra realisticness of wanting every house to have a laundry room, laundry system. And instead I could make it even more realistic and have people who go to the laundromat instead of doing it in their own home. Because that's real life too. People don't have the laundry system in their home, or it breaks or whatever happens and you've got to go to the laundromat sometimes. It happens. So I'll have a look into that and see. Maybe I'll build that next. So we've got our little laundry room bathroom. We've got our degular bathroom. And then we've got Mum's room. So I kind of wanted her to be a very artistic sim. And I wanted the apartment, first of all, to have this like modern feel. But then it just didn't fit with the like fixtures already present, like the windows and whatnot, and the building itself. So I kind of went with like this apartment has been updated since the change of the millennia. But it's kind of still got that, I don't know what the word is. Like, it looks like a brownstone building, right? It's kind of got that vibe of not a completely modern, technologically advanced home. So things have been updated here and there, it appears, but for the grand part, I've tried to stick, like, not ultra modern, if that makes sense. I've tried to stick a little bit more, I don't know what the word is for this style of decorating, but I was going to say shabby, but it's not really shabby because I've tried to go a little bit like almost luxe in the bedrooms with especially the mum's room with the like marble and the purple, but I just tried to go a little bit more, I don't know, this just reminds me of like a family home. That's what I want to say, but I know family home isn't like a decorating style, but it just reminds me of like a traditional family home. And it just feels very homey. I guess that's the vibe. And then in Mum's bedroom, we've got like the blues, the purples, and a borderline Art Deco vibe, I feel like, with the high school years stuff. Like, I want to say luxe. Like, she's got the marble look. She's got the black, like, furniture. I don't know. It's just feeling very luxe. And with the plants, she's got a lot of golds and, like, metal, like, metallic accents. That was the vibe in there. And I tried to kind of transfer that through into the kids' room as well. They've got a purple vibe going on there as well, kind of like a purple pink, whereas Mum's got more of like a purple blue. And so in that room, I had some of the similar items from high school years for their like wardrobes and whatnot, and then the rest is more just like kiddie furniture. But I did go for a bit of like a modern vibe, more so than like, I just tried to take the vibe of the apartment and then like bring it into this era, if you know what I mean, with the decorations and whatnot. So yeah, that was kind of the inspo for this property. I wanted it to be like, I felt like in my heart that the sim that owns this apartment is like an artist. They're very creative, and I envisioned that they probably work from home, maybe like they're their own independent artist, or they're like, yeah, creating their own music, maybe doing performances here and there, but that they largely work for themselves. That was kind of the vibe I went for. And in the living area with those 2 windows against the wall, I just wanted to create a very open plan, like kitchen, living, dining, in the sense it's one room, but I wanted them to have their own discrete sections, like their own independent sections within the open plan. So we've got our kitchen, which is kind of separated by the island, which then flows into the dining across on the side there. And then we've got our living room down by the windows. And I feel like this just made the most sense. Although with this, I struggled with my wood tones because I was trying to not do just like white or like all the same items from the same pack. Like I didn't want everything to be perfectly matching. But then I struggled with swatches, like especially the swatch on the bottom of that rocking chair. Why don't we have any like modern rocking chairs that have like different bases, like, or just a plain white base or like a plain color base? All the wood tones on that are so intense, and I'm just brought back to Sims 2. Like I want to be able to change the swatch on like the fabric of the chair and the bottom wood part of the chair, because there were some times where it matched on the bottom but then the top wasn't right, and then vice versa. So I just really wish that we could, I don't want a color wheel necessarily, but I wish that we could change multiple parts about an item. So like the fabric and the wood, the top and the bottom of the table, the bed frame and the bed sheets. Like that is my bare minimum, please, Sims team. It's never going to happen in The Sims 4, but it's my dream. It's honestly, Sims 2 is like among top tier gaming for me for that reason. I love The Sims 2, man. I can't get enough of it. Anyway, I wanted to make the apartment look, I guess another good word for it instead of like homey vibe is like lived in. Like it's not like a perfect pristine showroom apartment that you would see when you're like walking through model houses. It's like a lived in house. Like kids live here. There's toy baskets. There's like next to her rocking chair, I kind of made it out as if it would be a bit of like a breastfeeding station for her, or a spot where she goes to like rock the baby to sleep at nighttime, or putting the infant down for a nap, sitting in the rock chair doing that. I also wanted to have like little kids decorations here and there throughout, and different items that vibe with family gameplay. So like we've got the whiteboard for setting curfew and things like that, and also having like the board games on a shelf. I eventually get rid of that easel and have the board games on there instead, and having like the little basket next to the couch where their toys could go. Things like that. I just wanted it to be lived in. I wanted the kids to have like spaces within each part of the house. And so I kind of imagine this probably has like, this home has a child or a teen, a toddler, and then like a newborn / infant, or maybe she's like expecting another child or something along those lines, because I do have a bassinet in her room. And yeah, that's just kind of the vibe I was going for, like a family apartment. And this was heavily inspired by some off-camera gameplay that I was doing. I had a sim, I just sometimes love the struggle, so I had her move into this apartment, just a single sim, and she was working a bunch of part-time jobs. I've got a mod where it lets you get more than one job at once, and so she had a bunch of part-time jobs. She was just vibing, like getting that money, earning her getting that bread every day, and doing her part-time jobs, like multiple part-time jobs in one day, and then doing odd jobs and all that kind of stuff, and like some freelance stuff as well. And then the most random thing, I think I had to have her go to the gym to do like a shout out for her social media career. And while she was there, she met, I forget their last name, but it's a family from Mount Komarubi. The wife has like red hair, he has black hair, and they've got 2 kids, I believe, to start out with. Well, she was there, so we met her, and then like 5 minutes later, she was like, hey, my family needs to stay with you. Is that okay? And they like planned to stay over, and she came and stayed with us. And then long story short, I stole her husband, and now I have like a bunch of kids with him, or my sim does. And yeah, they were living in this apartment, but we just outgrew it and I had to move out. But I really wanted to like make a full-fledged decorated apartment that suited that vibe of like a single mom with multiple kids. Anyway, let's walk you through this apartment here. Instead of doing screenshots, I kind of wanted to do a walkthrough. So as you enter, you've kind of got your dining table. Oops, I forgot to paint the ceilings. Oh well. You've got a little area to put your coat, the broom by the front door. You got our beautiful kitchen with the island. Got your sink so you can watch over the kids, you know, playing in the living room over here. Got our rocking chair, the board games, a bookshelf. And if you head back kind of like, yeah, to the right of the front door, we have the laundry room bathroom. So you got your washer dryer stacked, all your laundry goods there, your ironing board. We've got the bathtub to wash the infants and toddlers in, a potty, toilet, sink, all that good stuff in that room there. Oh, I also used the light switches for the first time, which was so cool. Then this is Mum's room, so we've got her wardrobe with all of her clothes, the bassinet for the future baby, and her bedside tables and bed. I've never used that swatcher bed before, so it's really cute. Her little work from home desk station. She's got her microphone and whatnot. And then heading back out, obviously that takes us back out to the living room. If you kind of head straight across, you are met with the bathroom. So this is just like the sink, toilet, toddler potty, everything you could need. And then we've got the shower, which I kind of built into the wall like that. Head on through here and we're in the kids' room. So yeah, I didn't know you could put stuff in that closet. It's so cool. And we got the bunk beds. Right now it's obviously fit for a toddler and a child. So I've got a bunch of different toys that could suit either of them. We've got our changing table, blocks, you know, toys for the kids like the kitty cat, or they can both play with the toy chest. And then over there is their little wardrobe and an activities table for the kid as well. So I thought that the new lunch boxes, I think they came with a free base game update, the lunch boxes, because I don't know, I just noticed them the other day. I think they're really cute. I've been adding them in lately. This is just an overview of the apartment, so that's kind of the vibe. You can see the floor plan, how you kind of got like bedroom, bathroom, and living space. But that is the end of this build video. I tried to do it a little bit different to how I'd been doing build videos in the past, with like the intro, the speed build, and then a tour. So hope you enjoy. Until next time, have a very snazzy day, and I'll see you all soon. Bye.